Good evening. This is Stephanie from Steph's Tarot Interpretations. I keep on wanting to say readings and interpretations, but I want to thank you to the subscribers. I'm pleasantly surprised. Thank you. I appreciate you showing interest in my channel, and for everybody that's viewing my channel so far, I really appreciate it. So probably obviously what I want to look into today with the cards, and I'm just making sure which direction they're going so that they don't get all upside down, topsy-turvy and everything, is how long will this conflict with Russia and Ukraine and NATO last? It is a conflict now. If you haven't seen my Putin's Last Stand video, he's taken the tower moment now. There was a point where there was the Ace of Cups, which is usually new beginnings, new feelings, new thoughts. But then again, I'm thinking when I see the Ace of Cups, I'm thinking of like new, pleasant feelings, emotions, and good tidings. And as I'm talking about it right now, I'm thinking, well, no, his feelings have changed, and he's not a happy camper. His feelings have begun to change into more rage and more frustration, and it's not, I don't think he's confused or anything, but it's just, I don't think he's confused. I don't think he's a madman or anything. I think he's a very brilliant man. But from wanting to visit President Biden, having a summit with him, and then suddenly calling on the Russian troops to go to those independent republics, recognizing them as independent republics, and then invading them, kind of blows my mind. But I don't know if that was because Biden put his foot down, as long as there was no invasion involved, and I don't know what else he would have expected, but unless he got more information. I was just reading before I came on. The U.S. has been sharing intelligence to the public, and which is usually unusual. It's unusual for that to go public like that, but it's designed, or it's being discussed that it's designed to keep Russia off guard and not be able to spin things to make it look as if it's all Ukraine or the NATO's fault or whatever, and the U.S. is actually putting out what their investigations and have been showing. So and the conversation, I think, with Psaki today was that it seems like Russia's winging it right now. They're constantly adjusting and readjusting as far as what they're going to do. So that could be causing more outrage and frustration for Putin. But anyway, what I would like to know is, I'm sure we all want to know how long this is going to last. How long will this conflict with Ukraine and Russia going to last? Will it end shortly? I hope to God it's not a long drawn out fight, because then I don't want to think about what could be, if that's the case. I don't want to think about what else could happen, what other kind of, how big the war could grow and how fast and whatever. But okay, so let's see. How long will this conflict between Russia and Ukraine/NATO last? How long will this conflict between Russia and the Ukraine/NATO last? How long will it last? How long We'll be able to nip it in the bud sooner rather than later. Okay, so let me click cards. And I'm going to make sure that I get them where we can see them. Okay, so the card in the past, the first card is the Hangman, and that's we're waiting. Many times, this card also means, you know, looking at a different point of view. There's 2 point of views right now. There's Putin's point of view and everyone else's point of view as far as what's going on with this. But we're also in a waiting game. We're watching and waiting, unfortunately. And it's not fun sometimes, especially with something like this, to see what's next. And we have to just kind of hang in there and see what else he does, and hopefully he stands down. It doesn't escalate further. I want those 2 independent republics to be given back to Ukraine, but I don't know. Perhaps, and again, this is all speculation on my part and for entertainment purposes only, in my opinion. Perhaps he's thinking even if he just got those 2 republics, at least he got something, and then we're going to have to try to get him back. But he's still, I mean, he's ready for war. He's armed for war. He's got the military there. He's got the feet on the ground, the machinery there. They're already in those republics. And again, like I had stated before, the last time when he had invaded Crimea, I believe is how that country is pronounced. When he invaded that, the amount of weaponry and amount of military that he had on hand was nowhere near what's going on right now. So let's see what's going on in the present. Okay, so 7 of Pentacles. That's a review, a reevaluation. What could have been done? What could be done differently? What could have been done differently if the seeds that you've sown aren't growing? This is showing bounty, but this card represents a reflection period of reassessment of things, and that's, I'm sure, on both sides. The only thing is we don't know. The worry is that we don't know what kind of reassessing Vladimir is doing. If he's saying, okay, this is enough, or if he's just going to go all hog wild and go right into the Ukraine and invade the whole thing. And NATO, Ukraine, we're probably reassessing the reassessment we just made the minute before as far as how we're going to handle this. So what's going to happen? What other sanctions? What else can we do to stop this before this gets before this goes too far? Interesting. So we're waiting. We're in a delay. We're in a holding pattern because. And we're still reassessing the situation, but right now it's still happening. It's an ongoing thing right now. It's happened. He has invaded Ukraine, whether you want to call it the Russia friendly regions of Ukraine or whatever. he's invaded the country, and so it started. So everybody's reevaluating, thinking, and just waiting to see what happens before the next move, or evaluating before what they think would be best before they make another move, which is probably prudent. Yeah, okay. All right. In the future, Seven of Swords. This is betrayal. This is thievery. This is dishonesty. This is someone spinning something to their benefit, which would be a Putin thing. Dishonesty and betrayal is a Putin thing because he betrayed Ukraine. He really doesn't have any supporters out there, except for maybe North Korea and China. But if they were careful, which I'm sure that they are, they're looking over their shoulders too. This is someone that's just trying to get as much as he possibly can that doesn't belong to him, trying to steal as much as he can that doesn't belong to him, which doesn't sound good for the future, which gives me a sick feeling inside my stomach, saying that he's going to probably try to push into Ukraine for more. The two independent republics are not enough. So let's go ahead and see what the clarifiers say. I'll take a drink first. Okay. First clarifier. Well, here's that Ace of Cups again. Oh boy. The Ace of Cups. I'm just going to say it's a new beginning of feelings and emotions, and those feelings and emotions are of fear. People are probably becoming more frightened, more concerned by the day. Because with each of the elements, there's the fire element, which are the wands, the sword element, which is air, the pentacles, which is earth. There's good and bad to each, which, as you can see, like the Seven of Swords, that's the bad part of the element, betrayal and dishonesty. And each of the each of the cards, each of the elements can represent a multitude of different things, the positive and the negative. Feelings and emotions are wonderful, especially when you're feeling love and happiness and seeing family, being with family, having fun, being not stressed out, whatever. And ones or aces or new beginnings. But there are other kinds of feelings too. There are other kinds of feelings like fear, hatred, anger, and that could be it. I think that's what this is symbolizing here. I really didn't want to. I was hoping that this wasn't going to. I was going to say take a dark path, but these are the feelings I'm getting from the cards. Something really dark. And I haven't drawn my other two cards yet. Would be seeing the Devil card, the Ten of Swords, Tower card, so on and so forth. There could also be a new beginning of feelings of unity in NATO, within NATO, and feeling more protective and of each other and working together. So yeah, we're in the holding pattern as we're waiting and watching Putin see what his next trick is going to be, which would be betrayal and probably trying to go for some more, which will amp up the feelings even more, especially with the poor people of the Ukraine. And then anybody that ends up dying from any kind of skirmish or fighting or whatever that goes on. And our feeling of resolve within our unity within NATO too will get stronger too. So that might be a whole new beginning with a new fresh start with NATO, strengthening NATO, and our feelings against dictators, people that just think that everything belongs to them. They can just take whatever the heck they want. So, all right, let's get to the next clarifier. And Ace of Wands. Okay, 2 aces. That's interesting. And this is the beginning of new plans. Wands are plans. It's fire, meaning that action, energy, projects, something new is being developed in response to what is going on with Russia and Ukraine, and that would be sanctions. That would be perhaps the U.S. Well, and part of it, maybe a small part of it too. The U.S. Just saying to the world, saying what it is, telling it how they feel, how they see it, what they've been announcing, everything that they've been finding instead of keeping it secret. It's a new way of handling Putin. And we're not going to sit back and just say, oh, okay, well, if he just takes a little bit, that's it. I mean, we are walking a very tight rope between this and World War III, and World War III comes, it was nice knowing everybody. And this also would represent some more diplomacy, too. The 7 of Pentacles, to reviewing and discussion and offers, more discussions about sanctions and things. But this is a new way of how we're going to handle Putin and Russia and its incursion into the Ukraine. Interesting. Lots of new beginnings, which is good to see. Especially because, again, with NATO, not that we've had much that we've had to really come together for last several decades, but it's good to see that we are all coming together and we are all on the same page and we are all contributing to the cause. So we begin with that. And lastly, in the Wheel of Fortune, as the world turns, as Russia turns, as Ukraine turns, it's a cyclical energy. Right now we're hopefully at the bottom, if not at the very bottom. And what goes around comes around, too. And I'm a true believer in karma and people getting what they deserve in the long run. So with these new beginnings, these new feelings, these new actions, these new ideas, new ways of how we're going to deal with it, it's starting to change the way the incursions and the invasion is, it's this symbolizes the change of life, changes that go around in life. You start at one end and you come full circle when you learn your lesson for that, and then something else starts. And this is showing that, okay, we're on the circle, we're on the ride, we're on that merry-go-round, and so it's not like we're waiting for it for the ride to start. We're in it right now, and it will wind down. It will end, and with our new beginnings of feelings and camaraderie and new actions, we may end up seeing. Now, I said in my other video that my question was, is this Putin's last stand? And the final confirmation card that I had was the Nine of Wands, which is the end of the cycle, coming to the end of the cycle, but that's also where he's defending himself. And the Wheel of Fortune is a good card, is a fortuitous card. So hopefully what this is telling us is that, okay, we're now on that circle where it's going to be coming, and hopefully we're at the top where it's now going to be, because the circle's already started, and hopefully, and I haven't been able to answer the question that I initially put out, how long will this invasion last, the conflict last. Right now we're in the circle, the Wheel of Fortune. Fortunes are changing, and I'm thinking those fortunes are changing. And I asked about Russia, so those fortunes are now starting to change for Russia, where Russia now has first gone ahead and done its thing, and now we have new resolve, new ways of handling Russia, being the plans of new plans of how we're going to handle this situation too. The fortunes are starting to change for Russia, so hopefully this will end shortly. Other readers have said that they didn't see where it was going to last very long. I hope not. I hope they're right. I mean, I could be prejudiced from listening to them, and it doesn't seem like this will be allowed to last very long either. But I don't know. I'm hoping that we're now at the top point, and the fortunes are turning now into Russia's disfavor, and it will be to our benefit. Where he's going to have to pull out, do something, and then have to defend himself for why he did what he did. Like my last readings, Putin's last stand suggests. So I hope this was helpful. I can't imagine this is going to last too long, but I don't know. I can't see Russia just pulling out of those two independent republics either, unless something makes him do that. I feel like we've lost them now. And in order to stem any other like bloodshed or losses and whatever, he'll take some kind of deal. Maybe not, because he really seems hell bent on starting a war or starting something. I'm just hoping that the fortunes for Russia are going to start changing. They were fortuitous in being able to, gather troops and its army and invade those two republics. And now, hopefully, now there will be consequences that they will be paying, and they will be suffering for those consequences. So, again, it didn't really answer too much on the timeline. Many times with tarot cards or even astrology readings, there is really no sense of time. There's no exact amount of days or months or weeks or minutes. It can give you an idea. But I'm making an assumption with this Wheel of Fortune that Russia's fortunes are now turning. Are going to be on the downside now. So then hopefully that will mean we're going to be seeing it in the rearview mirror sooner rather than later. So again, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you thought. And I'll talk to you later. Thank you.